How are you feeling ahead of a new season?
Well, I'm very excited. Look, it took me 12 years to win the Indy 500, so it's definitely a race of perseverance. It's the highest achievement that you can have in motorsport with 300,000 people there on that day. It's a huge team effort, but for me, I'm trying to stay vigilant. We've got the most competitive racing championship that you'll find on the planet, and everybody's getting better every single year. I love 100 Days to Indy. I'm glad that we captured our racing action from that vantage point. You're really able to see what goes into this, intense month of May. And there's a whole buildup to that, like you talked about. We're only a week out now, just over a week to our first race on March 10th in St. Petersburg. So it is a long drag. We got to get to May 1st and then hopefully get to the championship finale. But it's intense. I love it. I love the competition.
Yeah, I can't imagine the intensity. It is almost here. Fans are certainly ready. I'm curious, what are some of the biggest storylines and fellow drivers that you're keeping an eye on this year?
Yeah, 100 Days was great. Look, if you haven't seen it, check out 100 Days to Indy. It's that behind-the-scenes look. You watch the racing on TV and you watch the race itself, and, it seems kind of simple from that vantage point. You either have a good day and you were either fast or you weren't fast, but there's so much that goes into it. I liked seeing the rivalries that formed last year. Even Pato Award, Scott Dixon, they had a wreck in Long Beach, and you saw the interaction the next race and how it kind of boiled over and how they completely disagreed on what happened. And that just kind of carried all the way to the 500. So there's just little storylines that you're going to find and pick up on that you wouldn't normally get a look into. So that's what makes it interesting, and you get the intensity of the month of May. That's probably the best part for me is, it's this one moment that you're building for, that you're trying to win, but you just don't know the effort and the sacrifice that it takes to get there. So just seeing that journey is really unique for people.
Yeah, and you learn so much you didn't know, and even people who aren't familiar with the sport get to see, what kind of grit and determination it takes to be successful in it. I also wanted your take. IndyCar is banning a key move that drivers have used in recent years, one that was crucial in your Indy 500 win last year. What's been the reaction to that change, and how do you expect it to impact the season?
I think it's exciting. That's what sports does. Really what you're looking at in IndyCar is you're looking at humans that are pushing the boundaries and the limitations of automobile racing. That's what the Indy 500 is rooted in, the history of automobile development. It was the 107th race last year. So what you saw at the end of the race was me doing everything possible within the rules to win. And I was pretty aggressive. I drove essentially into the pit lane entry to deter the car behind me from passing me before the start-finish line. And now they're banning that. They said, look, that was too aggressive, and we're going to put a rule in place to not allow you to do that. And now I got to find a different way to try and win the race. So that's, it's what makes it fun. I'm sure they'll cover that on this next season. But it's those details that people probably missed in the past. They didn't even realize, why is that rule in place? Why was it too dangerous? And how are you going to make something different out of it? So, I love that. I love that sport really pushes humans to do things that are outside the box and to find new limits. And, that's what it's all about if you want to be super competitive.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.